I think that so much of what you said and everything are excellent points. But the big takeaway I get from that is that you made a conscious, concerted effort. You didn't take for granted that because we're women together or because we're women we're enemies or anything. You really it started with the relationship between the two of you. And I also hear a lot of the importance of getting a mentor's advice. That when Commissioner Cleaves it just gave you that little bit of help and everything. It seemed to make a big difference.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of men as well,
yes.
which is even it was Commissioner Cleese absolutely phenomenal, but I think to have a lot of the men in leadership as well kind of offer that support and not treat us any different because we were women, but that genuinely saw the effort that we were trying to put forward and kind of cultivated that and helped give us advice and direction. I mean, and personally, though he's a little bit of a tough mentor, I love him to death. The former board president, Christopher Irving, it's that person that I would call and still call, hey, what do you think? And he would tell me, are you out of your mind? Or, and we have that relationship as well, where he'll just literally say what he means, whether I like it or not. But those are things you appreciate. I mean, but it's also a person that'll tell me, that is a great idea. Move forward with that.
Then we also had Miss Jones, Miss Jacqueline Jones.
Oh, Miss Jacqueline Jones.
When we all came into the district.
Former chief of staff.
Yes, she was the former chief of staff to the previous superintendent. And when we walked in the doors, Miss Jones made sure that we were on point. She made sure that we knew what was going on, and she made sure that you look great on camera.
Yes, she did. She always asked the men, "Where's your tie?"
Where's your tie? And she made sure.
Fair question.
I'm about to say she made sure that we were dressed appropriately. So she made sure that we was ownership to this when we came here, because a lot of times when people come, they just think of us as commissioners, and we don't really hold that title so high to ourselves. We just think that we're just the normal people that's in the community doing the work. And Ms. Jones made it a fashion to say that you guys are commissioners. You have to take this seriously. People are holding you accountable for kids' education. So it was people like that. And I'll never forget the first day we walked into the superintendent's office, and she made it a business. If you did not have a appointment, you was not seeing the superintendent. So she made sure that you were doing things professionally and also correctly.
And how would we have ever survived? Forget the 2 years, but our entire tenure on the school board without Cheryl Williams.
Oh, yes, yes.
How would this district
I can personally
survive?
attest to the value of Cheryl Williams.
Yes.
How would we survive?
A lot of people don't realize that we have a dynamic board secretary that keeps us in order. She makes sure that our board minutes are there. She's available to answer any questions that you have.
Who needs Google when you got Cheryl?
Exactly. What I will say about her, you would think she's so quiet, but very knowledgeable, and not afraid to challenge you to make sure that you understand what you know when you sit down at that table. So she makes our job look so much easier than what it is. So again, it's the partnerships with the staff members here in the district and also with us. But what I would love to say, I think it's coming around that all 9 board members actually do have an input in what we do. A lot of times we sit back and let the men lead sometimes because you want to hear where they're coming from.
And I'm kidding.
When I say let them,
you don't really have to ask for their opinions, right?
No, you don't.
We joke. They're coming. But we joke around sometimes, and that's the best part about this. Not only with the administration but with the board. They've, especially me, because I'm definitely a lot more expressive. The days of frustration. With Cheryl or with Ms. Perrone or with Ms. Schaefer or with anyone. It's all right, I'm frustrated, or I have no idea, what to do, or someone just got on my last nerve. Because there's different personalities, but also with the board members, there's times where I can just say, I'm like, what? I don't want to hear it. That doesn't necessarily mean that I don't, but sometimes it's just that fact of, let's start again. Because this isn't going well. Let's
hit reset.
Let's hit reset. Let's walk away. I'll call you back in an hour.
Or
I'll see you at the board meeting, or, but we can have those relationships where I'm like, but we see it at the, even on the mic. Sometimes we'll joke around and, I'll say, I'm going to cut your mic off because you're talking too long. And it's a joke. It's kind of to make it a little lighter since we spend way too much time together.
I think we spend as much time as more family members we do. So,
Oh, yeah.
So especially over the last 4 years, we've all been here at least six days a week, sometime 5 days a week. So we understand the dynamics. And I think one of the things that we did was the restorative circle with the board.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think we found out a lot of information that we didn't know about each other. And personality-wise, sometimes when you just sit there as colleagues, you're here just to do the business, and you don't really see that other playful side with your board members. So,
Are you saying that you've been using the restorative justice practices that people have been using in
Oh,
schools
yeah. Oh,
as a
absolutely.
board?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So when Ms. Rosie Grant was trained and went through all of her training and some of the processes that are implemented in the schools, we actually had a session. So we do try to see a lot of the things that happen at the school districts, or at the schools, I'm sorry. It's difficult for some of us to get around because we have full-time jobs during the day. And we try to, use lunch breaks or, days off. And I think I've used all of my vacation on visiting a school. But you love it. But it's also, we want to see the practice. We want to see how it works, and how we can use it as a board, and something as a restorative justice or even the curriculum or the Chromebooks, we wanted to be able to use the same thing that the school districts are using. So we have the Chromebooks as well. That is what we use, and we can see the curriculum and we try to be a part of everything as much as we can.
Nothing happens accidentally. Whatever success that has been achieved in the school district by the Board of Ed during the past 2 years has been the result of some very deliberate actions on the part of the district's elected leaders, most especially the act of seeking out advice from mentors. On the next episode, President Castillo and Vice President Redmon talk about some of the challenges they have faced, the Board of Education faced, the district faced during the past 2 years of leading the school board. I hope you'll take a listen.